Ladies and gentlemen, 3 days have passed and here we are. It's Championship Sunday and this is the final match. I'm DJ Wheat.
And I'm Day 9. It couldn't be a better final match. I've never been so thrilled to cast a finals in my life. KT's Flash, the god of Brood War versus the king of Lings. StarTale's life has been on a complete tear. The only Zerg able to take out Terran players in Best of X series here at MLG. He did it with Last, he did it with Pult, and then he 3-0'd MC to be here in the grand finals.
We'll take a look at these brackets right now as you see these two players' paths. And certainly there was tough roads for all of them. And Flash going through, dropping some maps here and there, but ultimately defeating Innovation to make it through. Life having a similar road where some games were lost, some even going to the fifth and final series, but he still manages to bring it back. And this, Sean, believe it or not, is a rematch from a game that took place even just 5 or 6 days ago.
You know, it's crazy to think that Flash faced the final boss of Protoss vs. Terran, parting Innovation, an up-and-comer, pushed him to the limit in TVT, and now Life, considered the best Zerg vs. Terran player in the world. That is the final person Flash must face, and of course Life managed to defeat Flash in an extended series at the last MLG, so you know Flash is hungry for revenge.
Yep, we've got, I mean, it's a rematch for rematches, and you know what? To make it even more exciting, this is a best of 7, which of course every match leading up to this has been a best of 5. That's fight, cheer for it. A best of 7 to determine which of these will be the first MLG champion of 2013. And also, they've got a piece of that $75,000, $25,000 for first. It's a lot on the line.
But you know, these players are not playing for the money. They are playing because they want to be the best of the best of the best on the main stage. To introduce our 2 players in the grand finals is none other than Anna Prosser.
Thanks, guys. If I were sitting out there in the audience with you, this is the point where I would be hitting you and making really excited noises. So feel free to do that with your friends if you want to. Make some excited noises. I'm going to introduce the players. In red, the Zerg Hope. It is StarTale Life! Life, this is familiar ground for you. You have won an MLG championship before. Adding this to your list of accomplishments, what would that mean to you?
전에도 이 결승전 MLG 이기신 적이 있는데 이번에 이기시면 어떤 의미가 있으신지?
이기면 MLG 2연속 우승이라서 좋을 것 같아요.
If I win, it's my second win, so it's gonna be pretty good.
Yes, it will. His opponent in blue, the legendary KT Roaster Flash! Flash, you have a list of accomplishments as well, a mile long, but as yet have not won an MLG championship. If you were able to do that now, how important would that be?
많이 이기신 적이 있으신데 해외에서는 한 번도 그 대회를 이기신 적이 없으신데 이번에 이기시면 어떤 의미가 있으실지?
개인적으로는 스타트 처음 우승이기 때문에 굉장히 뜻깊을 것 같고 되게 예전 생각이 나면서 너무 좋을 것 같아요.
This will be my first win in a foreign tournament with StarCraft 2. This will be the first StarCraft 2 winning, so it will be beyond the imagination. It will be a great meaning for me, so it will be a great honor.
It would be. Life, will you come join us? We're about to watch some amazing StarCraft. Please shake hands, go to your booths, and we will be sitting in the wings with Nerd Chills. Now it is back to you, casters. Take us away.
Thank you, Anna. I honestly am blown away by the level of play of these two players. First of all, talked a little bit about Life going 3-2 against Last and 3-2 against Polt in back-to-back series. He was here until 1:30 in the morning playing, and then his round was one of the first of today. But at the same time, Flash versus Liquid Ret. Flash got maxed with Terran at 13 minutes.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, we look at all of the little examples of Flash and his run through here. There's no doubt people have seen the flair that this player has brought for Brood War for many, many years, and finally they got to see many of those skills translated directly into StarCraft 2. Now, what I love about this matchup is that many people have drawn parallels between these two players, and although no one can really be compared to Flash's overall accomplishments in his career, Life has started off in the same fashion that Flash has, and he is looking to duplicate, if he can, the amazing accomplishments that Flash has under his belt.
And you know, I mean, Flash in StarCraft 2, nothing compared to his Brood War career. Started off a little bumpy, but with Heart of the Swarm out on beta, accelerated to the #1 rank on the Grandmaster beta ladder with the best win rate of anyone. He has been training hard. We've seen him maximize the use of those new units with Biomine, and given that this map starts us off on Neo Planet S, the perfect map for this split small skirmish style.
This is a best of 7 to truly determine the champion here for the Winter Championship, the first event of MLG 2013. I'm so excited, especially because it is a ZVT. I think you guys know one of my favorite matchups to watch, and regardless of the winner, this should be an explosive and epic matchup.
Well, it looks like the countdown has started. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for Life versus Flash? Neo Planet S, a very weird looking map. Almost every map has a clearly defined third. Neo Planet S does not. The map is a circular style map. Whatever direction you choose to expand along, you are expanding closer to your opponents. So without any further ado, let us introduce our red player in the bottom left.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the red Zerg, he had some best of 5 series that went the entire way. He kept us on the edge of our seats throughout the entire tournament, and he is here in the finals. Give it up for the last remaining Zerg. It is StarTale Life.
And spawning in the top right position, having shown a dominant performance against Zerg, Protoss, and Terran throughout this tournament, he now must face the final Zerg boss. Can he do it? It's KT's Flash!
Sean, one thing I am starting to love about this map is the lack of any sort of watchtower.
You know that's absolutely true, Marcus. You have to keep spotting at an absolute maximum on this map, and exactly what you're saying is so relevant to this 10 pool that we see out of Life, notorious for 10 pooling against Flash in the last MLG. But like you say, there's nowhere to plant the SCV to spot what could be coming. Flash is going to do a double extractor trick to get 12 drones out before that Overlord. But will Flash go for command center first? You betcha he will. He better make a conservative on the high ground center.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Here we go. We have the SCV making its way around. Flash now heading on in, and it is going to be the SCV moving down to the low ground, and you see that position of his dot. There it is, but no, he switches. He knows.
Oh my God, he sees that there's no expansion. He knows something's up. He throws down the engineering bay. He throws down the barracks. Flash with an incredible read.
Wow, absolutely incredible. The SCV was going down and wanted to plop down that command center. No, the racks is what I need to survive. I'm also going to be, blocking your hatchery with an engineering bay. So he's forcing him into this right here, and that engineering bay is almost finished. Here we go. We've got the rings making their way across, but honestly, it's blocked off. I mean, what can he do at this point?
This is a terrible spot to be in his life. Do you attack? Do you kill off the engineering bay? No matter what, you have no clear good decision. The engineering bay at 34 of 35 total completion. The barracks is wrapping up right now. Flash in a weird position, going to go for a delayed expansion. This is no longer what is my build order. It is what is the best judgment call in this position.
Depot raised, not at the last moment. in, not necessarily at the last moment, but it's getting in there. Marine is about ready to pop out, and he will go ahead and repair the depots. And these Zerglings are not going to be able to bust through the wall, and that means we're going on to phase 2 of this game. This engineering base not quite done yet. The cancellation to come soon enough. And look at Life. He's continuing his assault here, moving back these weak Zerglings. Meanwhile, Flash dropping that CC inside his base.
The engineering bay. Engineering bay is canceled with a few seconds left. Now, who is ahead, who is behind in this circumstance? Completely unclear, but Life has collected enough money to begin a Baneling Nest, to begin Zergling Speed. There's a lot of options available for Life right now. His production is doing fine because he has that Queen. Flash may have put himself way far behind. This is a difficult, unusual spot for Terran to be in.
First 100 gas does go to Speed, and then we are going to see, pretty much what he'll go in next. We now have the Zerglings trying to get rid of this SCV. The hatchery has been put down, Sean. So a bit of an equalization. I mean, you talked about who do you think is ahead. Right now, drone count certainly behind the SCV there. The Zerglings grab that SCV. 21 SCVs for Flash, 18 drones for Life. What do you think?
I almost think Flash is obligated to build a third command center in this spot.
Yeah?
I mean, I do think he's going to need to try to catch up, but Flash has already built 2 geysers, so he's certainly not going to be going too strongly towards the third command center. We'll probably end up doing this gradual tech that we're seeing out of Terran players now, where they slowly get the starport, begin doing a little bit of drop aggression, just play it very, very safe. And what I love about both these players is they're always willing to go a little bit farther in the game.
You know, the scan was dropped down by Flash inside the main base of Life to see, is there anything I can read off of what is coming next? And he probably got a really, really good read with no workers on gas. He also didn't see any sort of baneliness. He could probably feel pretty comfortable that, you know what, I'm going to be able to drop this command center and start building a defense here at my natural. Meanwhile, the Zerglings acting as their own sort of Xel'Naga towers, trying to keep control of the map vision as best as they can. Life also using his overlords for the same purpose.
You know, I'm a little confused. Flash did in fact go for that third command center, but look at his gas. It's at 200. He's not really going to be able to spend that in any clear way. The Zerglings for Life going to try to apply a little bit of pressure, do kill off 1, 2, 3 workers, and then Flash pulls back in the very end. So Flash does have a little bit of annoying Zergling action at the front, but still, Life is on just 2 bases.
You did ask for a third command center out of Flash, and he said, all right, Sean, I got you covered. Inside the main base, that third CC is going down. Defense here, thanks to the 2 Hellions that come out. A couple Marines were lost, I believe an SCV as well, but now we have Flash going on the offensive for the first time with these 2 Hellions. A third base thrown down for Life as well. And he has put workers back on gas. He's got, he's droned up quite well. I mean, look at what he's rocking, 39 to 27 now. Life starting to get back on his feet here after that 10 pool.
Yeah, for a very wild opening with the engineering bay block, it looks like Flash is right on point. Now, given that this is a circular map, you won't really see Flash get too over-eager with these Hellions. He might poke here and there, but for the most part, he's going to be splitting them up and trying to manage the entire center of the map. Double Evolution Chamber down. It looks like Life is going to continue his Zergling heavy emphasis. Widow Mines, Stim, Flash likely to add on 2 engineering bays very soon and do that Bio Mine start.
All right, more Zerglings heading out towards the main, but it is going to be easily defended. These Hellions could make their way to the third, but of course we all know how Hellions do versus hatcheries, not so hot, because Zergling production continues, and this is the style that Life has been playing throughout, throughout this competition. So I expect to see him to go into that full. There we see the upgrades for the Lings, and then eventually switch to Mutas.
Yeah, I mean, per usual, Life just flooding a lot of Lings at this sort of unusual mid-time in production. We see the Hellions just, again, trying to control a little bit of space. And look at this Flash, even picking off that Overlord at the north side, all the Lings getting roasted up. I mean, Flash just locking down his half of the map. Flash does not want to be messed with. He doesn't really care too much what Zerg does as long as it's not a big attack.
We have more harassment from the Hellions. 1 finally does go down. Zerglings now heading out. Oh, they catch a spider, or they catch, a Widow Mine over on the east side of the map. They take it out before it can get to its destination. That means the Hellions are all alone. The third base for Life is now up. Command center, third CC for Flash is finished as well, but it's just building SCVs to populate the natural.
And we're also seeing that out of Life, a 10-minute layer. That's one of the latest layers you'll ever hear about in this match. I mean, players like Rhett get it at 5:30. Life has been delaying this against the increase of aggression out of Terran players, and it's been working fantastically for him. That's really been the key to his success. Flash about to power up to 4 barracks, almost a 5th going to be finished, and then he'll soon be just churning out massive number of Marine Marauders.
A few Banelings being put around the bases for Life here for defense. We've got as Flash establishing his 3rd base. These Zerglings continuing. Oh, they're going to go for a surround on the Hellions. One is caught. These 2 are a bit weak. One will manage to get away, but minimal Zergling fatalities there. Take that back, because these 2 will get some final hits, but
and it looks like
space well.
Flash trying to move a Spider Mine right to the center, and it looks like excellent connection there. Picks off a big pack of links, and look at this very nice Widow Mine placement all along the right flank. And then he's rallying to the left flank. Very smart positioning.
When you don't have Xel'Naga towers, you just make your own, and then you make the ones that will kill other units. Here we have another one making its way in. It will get the burrow down, but with that
Queen,
Overseer.
Queen down to 10 health down at the south side.
The Overseer did manage to help these Lings pick off the flank, or excuse me, the Widow Mines on the northwestern part of the map as well. A bunch of Banelings are getting morphed here. +2 melee, +1 missile attacks as well, so potentially not Mutalisk. We'll have to see exactly what Life has in store for us, but it looks like he wants to assault this 3rd base of Flash.
Looks like the speed upgrade is not yet done, and it looks like Life is about to lose a lot of those units. Flash running every which way, and it looks like the Zerglings are going to storm up to the north expansion. There's the stim. He's desperate to try to get into that bunker. SCV's coming in. This is a terrible angle for Flash. Banelings without speed, about to roll up in and decimate everything.
And they're going to have speed pretty soon, and there it kicks in just as they assault this 3rd base. All the SCVs are killed. The refineries go down as well, and that CC is not going to get dropped again. He'll get 3 free supply depots as well, and this will set him up quite nicely to keep Flash just on 2 bases.
This is a brilliant maneuver by Life. I just can't believe how smart this is. If my opponent does not have early tanks, then he cannot deal with early speed Banelings. I don't care how many mines you plant, I'll just suicide a couple of Zerglings, and then the Banelings will roll in undefended. In this position, Flash has been trying to get map momentum, as we saw him do versus Ret, as we saw him do versus Fly, but Life is the one who is commanding control.
He really is controlling space, spreading that creep. We've got more Zerglings trying to get rid of those Widow Mines with the Overseer. Now, there was a cancellation on the missile attack. Not sure, assuming it's a mistake. Spire has gone down now, +2/+2 for the Zerglings, and also some spines thrown around, as well as some spores to potentially stop any drops. But here comes a big force. Now, there is no burrow for Life. He can't set up any sort of bomb attacks here, but he's setting up a great potential surround, Sean.
Those Widow Mines need to burrow, and they need to burrow now. There's so many units Flash forced to lift up. Those Widow Mines, though, oh my God, a nice connection there, killing off some units, but at the north side, Zerglings counterattack.
Yeah, they do. They'll go back into that 3rd, and they are taking out that bunker up now, and back over on the other side. Flash trying to escape his medevacs, disengaging from this battle. But once again, he tried to go in there. Life set himself up with a good surround, was able to flank with the Banelings and the Zerglings, forcing that pickup from Flash, so he has to get out of there.
I mean, Life is so skillful with this link count. 73 Zerglings, only 4 Banelings, and now with the 10 Mutalisks out, it's going to be even more difficult for these Widow Mines to be that effective. But here comes an amazing connection, possibly. Does land nicely on those, and it's going to have to be emergency thrusters to pull back. The Widow Mines dealing some of the most significant damage there, but still, it's not quite enough.
You're going to drag those Mutas into more Widow Mines. Not going to let that happen, but there's still quite a few here. He's got to be careful. 2 more do burrow. And he is going to manage to pull all these units back, both players sustaining minimal losses in that exchange, but you can tell that these 2 are really, really vying for space in this map here.
Absolutely, and the key rule in StarCraft 2, if you have the much faster army, expand to opposite corners. That's exactly what we see Life doing. Life continuing to terrorize these forces. Widow Mines might do a big hit. Not quite. For some just amazing amount of control. Life continues to deflect every single one of these Widow Mine attacks, and it looks like it's doing almost more damage than to the Terran than to the Zerg, but amazingly Flash, his macro is too good. The medevacs get picked off. The game is still quite even.
It is 123 supply to 143 supply. Life with just a slight advantage. His Mutalisk count has dropped a little bit, but unfortunately in that chaos, a lot of the Widow Mines hitting single Zerglings or maybe just a small pack of Zerglings, which has to be tough for the engagement regardless, because one hit on like a pack of Mutas or those Banelings could be devastating for Life. But Flash, his macro is awesome and he just continues these attacks.
It's gonna be emergency thruster time. A Widow Mine, it does burrow, and a nice connection yet again. Flash continuing to stim and lead forward with this Marine medevac force, but Life knows the medevacs are the real danger. He's target firing them again and again and again. 20 Mutals, only 13 Marines out right now for Flash. He needs to catch up in that Marine production. He's gonna have to actually stay calm and sit back for a little while.
Should be noted too in the southeast position, scanned the moment that I actually catch it on camera. Life, his southeast expansion has been seen now. It's currently not mining, but it's there. The Muta's now gonna head on over to the third. Is there a missile turret? Absolutely not. One goes down, but too little, too late. This huge pack of Mutalisks is gonna do a ton of damage on the third, about the third or fourth time that this base has been assaulted.
It looks like Banelings and Zerglings getting morphed outside the front of Flash's base. I mean, these supply depots, not a huge weakness for Flash, but still a weakness that Life is going to exploit. Needs to get those Widow Mines burrowed right now. The Banelings are almost up, and there they pop out. Nice sniping by Flash.
Very, very good target fire all around. One medevac heads down to get rid of this hatchery in the southeast position, keeping Life on 4 bases. Life going back in with the Mutas to the third, keeping the SCVs on top of that missile turret.
An amazing mine connection kills off 17 Zerglings, but it looks like Flash has decided this is the key time to strike the left bases. He will sacrifice his third, a very risky maneuver.
Yeah, the Zergling's going to continue to pile onto the SCVs there, and he may lose this orbital command. The Muta's continuing their harass. Meanwhile, we've got another base under attack from Life, and Life is separated here, but this hatchery is most certainly going to go down.
I mean, Flash doing his absolute best to hang on, but still 15 Mutalisks versus 22 Marines, most of the Marines at the left position or down in the bottom right, and it looks like Flash will lose the orbital command.
Oh my gosh, and a ton of Banelings evict this little group of units from Flash. Flash activates the Ignite Afterburners and will get out of there.
Uh-oh, he
the
will
Mutas!
not get out of there. Here come the Mutalisks to pick these off. Flash about to completely plummet in supply, desperately trying to join the rest of his units in that force.
I mean, this is the style of play that Life has been using versus Terrans in this competition. This is the style of play that has ultimately led him to victory. To be here in the finals for the MLG 2013 Winter Championship seems to be working, and now we've got the Vipers coming out, and on top of that, the Mutalisk count has stayed so high that the thought of Blinding Cloud on these units and the fact that he doesn't have that many, Sean, seems really scary for Flash.
Drop in the bottom left. We see that Hive is up, Vipers are coming out, but Adrenal has not been started. 3-3 upgrades for Life have not been started. An unusual amount of flustering happening on Life's half. Flash starting to stabilize. A little bit more Mutalisks come in. There's going to have to be a forced target fire to try to pick off all those Mutalisks.
Got another CC going up here for Flash. The northwest base occupied by Life. He now has drones there occupying it, re-getting that fourth as well. We now have Flash moving down to his base to make sure that it gets up, and I think that's got to be a priority in this situation.
Absolutely.
There's a ton of Widow Mines around there. One big hit on those Mutas, but they will go back. Thankfully, they now have some regeneration, so he does not have to sacrifice any sort of Queen energy on that. He can just wait and attack once he is full health.
Medevac assault going along the south side. Fortunately, Life is heading most of his units to the top for Flash, but Flash still has to be very, very careful in this engagement. It looks like there is one Widow Mine. Does get picked off. Another engagement, not too bad for either player, but in the main base, Flash may very well get another opportunity to kill this pool.
He's going in for it. This time he's going to target it. Mutalisk coming in once again to save it. Pull down to 200 points of health. 144, 128,
96, 63, 39,
14.
Oh my God! He gets it down, and Flash engages at the north side. Banelings do a terrible hit, killing almost nothing but 5 Ultralists in production for Life. There's a narrow timing window where Flash can really do a lot of damage, but the Zerglings might very well surround. The Abducts might be on the docket. Oh no.
Oh, those medevacs aren't going anywhere. Sean brought back to the Mutalisks. Mutalisks are going to happily take them out. And right now, Flash is macroing great, but he's throwing every last unit into this army that Life is quite simply devouring.
Life, stunning macro, stunning play, start to finish, out macroing the Macro King. An amazing Baneling connection.
Wow, I mean, it's so, the Widowmine hits. There have been a few, Sean, that you expect to get the giant pack of Zerglings, but Life has been so thoughtful with this control and how he's bringing it in. But you know what? It may not matter. Here come the Ultralists.
Oh my God, by the fourth base of Life, a huge pack of Ultralists is hanging out down to the south. Oh my goodness, those Vipers just barely above that enormous pack. 6, 7 Ultralists right now, 3 more coming out. Flash trying to push, trying to make it happen. He is not gonna like what he will run into.
No, he will not, and he is hoping that these Widowmines are going to help him out. That is a very small army. Widowmines versus Ultralists, not that great. In fact, just look at the lack of damage right there, and he's got a very, very small army to combat this. This looks like an unwinnable battle as Life is just marching those Ultralists to the front of Flash's base.
Flash not going to give up, though, continues to drop back in the main. The spawning pool has been rebuilt. Lings continue to flood. Flash cannot get the northern expansion up. Flash opts to engage. That's a lot of Vipers there. A number of Abducts could continue to pick off the medevacs, but Flash going to try to kite these Ultralists as best he can. 2 Widowmines do get a couple nice hits off, but Flash, stops microing, and he loses every one of those Marine Marauder.
Yeah, that is rough. He did happen to have a few of those Ultralists down to the point where he was going to be able to kill them. Flash using this one Marine to try to dance around the bases and do some damage. But it looks like Life is going to actually back off here. He does have some very low health Mutalisks. Might not be the smartest idea to just try to go directly into the natural. But I think that Life also needs to be aware of this base that is in the far east here for Flash. Southeast has been regained by Life, but to give Flash that opportunity to get back in the game on his mineral and gas count might be a big mistake.
Oh no, Flash accidentally spots the top left expansion, and this is a terrifying moment for a Terran player when you're thinking, I need to kill off his fourth, I need to kill off his fourth. And then it turns out he actually has 6 bases, so you have a lot more work ahead of you. Oh, Life getting ready to do another push at the north.
Here we go, Zerglings going in, no Widowmines this time. The Vipers do go down, one Blinding Cloud does drop. And these Marines and Marauders will get as far back as they possibly can. We see Life split his units up, work on the SCVs while he attacks his army. Here come the Banelings!
Trying to get into a good angle, amazing splitting by Flash, but without enough units, he just cannot hope to pick off these Ultralist numbers. Ultralist at the front, the base at the far right in shambles. Flash down to 75 food, 2 more Ultralists in production, and oh man, at the north flank, a pack of Lings, Ultralists flooding up to the north. Flash has no units left.
Nothing. I mean, right now he's trying to defend with what very little he has left. The Queens have come out to transfuse these Ultralists. We've got Ultras and Lings now attacking nearly every single base that Flash calls his own, and GG!
Life takes a convincing game number 1. A very confusing opening, sifts his way through the chaos calmly.
And really emulates the style that he was shooting for all tournament long. Didn't change anything, wasn't hiding anything. He went with the early pool, but what then transpired was a style like what we've seen him defeat some other Terrans with throughout this competition.
Yeah, and now a map choice does go to Flash, and we've seen Life perform so well on these large maps where there's a lot of difficult spots, a lot of chaos, and amazingly Flash chooses Whirlwind SE as his map choice, one that I think would be perfect for Life.
We're going to find out just who it'll be perfect for in a moment. Flash is now down 1 game, Life winning the first one in this best of 7 series. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break, but when we return, this final continues for the 2013 MLG Winter Championship. Life versus Flash continues after this.